In this lesson, I'm going to show you both electric guitar parts for the song Lion and the Lamb. And I want to note that I'm capo 2 playing in the key of A because that's what my cover is, where you can see all these electric parts happening at the same time. If you want to match the recording, just hop up 2 frets with your capo and move everything that you're about to learn 2 frets higher, and it'll translate into the key of B. Everything will work the same, just go 2 frets higher to get the original key. But for now, we'll stay in A, capo 2, just learning everything in the key of A. So there are 2 things going on at the same time at the intro and different parts of the song. I'm going to talk through how to kind of mimic what's going on if you're the only electric player. But let's start and talk about what each guitar is doing. The first guitar is on the 5th fret relative to capo. On the D string, 1, 2, 3, 4, the 4th string up, and you're just following whole steps. By the way, you might be able to hear an effect. I just have a real light dotted 8th on it, and not a real heavy gain, but not a ton of effects on this. You can add in some light octave sounds if you want to as well, just to spruce it up. So I'm going 5, 7, 9. 5, 7. And this time you go 10 before you hit your 9. So here's the whole thing: 5, 7, 9. 5, 7, 10, 9. Not too bad so far. The next part is the lick that everyone associates with the song. You don't hear that kind of lick in worship music a lot, so it's really fun to play when you get a chance. And it's not as hard to play as you probably think or as it sounds. So I'm on the 14th fret, which is the 12th fret relative to capo. And you're going to use your pointer finger to bar. And then your ring finger is going to do a lot of the work otherwise. So we'll start again on the D string. We'll go right to the G, right below it, the 3rd string from the bottom. And it's a down up to play it really quickly. And then your ring finger will play the 14th fret. So it's in that hand position. Once you've done that, your pointer finger drops, or if you can keep it barred, that's fine too, on the 2nd string. You'll immediately come back to where your ring finger was and play that twice. And then to end the lick, you'll play your pointer finger still on that 3rd string. Drop your pointer finger down to the same note you were just at. And back to your ring finger. So here's the whole thing. Here's the last part. It'll help too with your ring finger to give it a little bit of vibrato that kind of helps it stand out. Get a little bit of that rock sound. As far as your right hand, down, up, down, down, up, up. So those 2 ups kind of really accentuate your ring finger. Down, up, down. Excuse me. Down, up, down, down, up, 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 down, up. For the last part. Again, you can keep your pointer finger here to cover all your bases and then just use your ring finger on that third string to get that note. So keep that lick in mind because that'll show up again in a minute. So with your first guitar, use your pointer to slide up into position to get that next lick. Right back to where you started for that intro lick. We'll go ahead and talk about what the second guitar is doing at the same time. It's doing the exact same thing that you're hearing on the first guitar, it's just an octave up. So stay in the same 12th hand position where you were. Starting on the third is pointer. So pointer ring on the third. Then drop your pointer to the second string. Get that 12. Do it again. And then middle. So middle plays before your pointer. So that's just the octave up of what's happening down here. And then the same lick. So you have essentially, you're hearing both at the same time. If you have a POG or some sort of octave pedal, you can play this and it will generate through the pedal an octave up. A lot of people will do that for this lick if it's just you on electric and you don't have two. Or you can do it the hard way, which is actually playing the octaves. The way you'll do that is get into hand position and let your pinky finger play the second string relative to where your pointer finger is playing. This is pretty tricky because as you're playing all the strings, you're only allowed to hear. So you've got to mute out everything else. So your first string and your third don't ring out. This is a jazz technique. You'll hear this a lot in jazz solos. And you've got to keep your hand pretty stiff as you slide up to all your positions so you can hear both. So that's one way to do it. A little harder, I'd suggest a different way, a pedal or having two guitars, but if you really want both, you can play it that way. So that's your main lick, that's your intro lick, your signature lick for the song. Really it doesn't do a lot until the chorus of the song. There's two different things happening with the chorus. The first guitar, guitar one, is playing the high part of a G chord. You'll sometimes hear the pinky sneak up to the 5. You also hear sometimes on a C chord or 4 chord, instead of your ring finger on the 3rd fret, on the 2nd string, you'll hear your pointer finger. And that'll help complement the C chord. So you're just, again, hearing the high part of the chord. The second guitar is getting really the full chord. So you're kind of hearing the lower end of the chord. On your C's and D's, it will help, and you'll hear this too if you listen really closely, to play bar chord positions. That really kind of drives that chord instead of just playing C to D. If you play a bar chord and drive it. So that's your chorus. On your choruses, that's what you'll hear. let's talk a little bit about the second verse, because the electric guitars don't do much on the first, but they do come in on the second with some pretty simple licks. First guitar, you hear kind of a droning G, that's just your third, with some dotted eighth. So you're just droning your G, 2 measures. Your third measure, you're playing that 3rd fret on the 2nd string, and then you're doing a slide from 4 to 2 on the 3rd string. So just a real simple light lick. And then the second guitar is playing relative to capo 5th. And then on the D string, you're getting the same G note. But the groove here, 1, 2, 3. And then your ring finger, 1, 2, 3, ring. And then you alternate. So those 2 licks go together, kind of complement each other and build up the second verse a little bit more. And to the chorus, which is the same thing we just did a second ago, we have full chords and then the high part of G chords, of your G chord. And then the next part is your bridge. The bridge of the song, everything kind of dies down where you don't really have a whole lot. And then as the bridge builds, really halfway through, your electrics come back in to kind of help build and take off. Your first guitar, the main part, the best way to think about this bridge is it follows the melody line of what you hear sung. So that's the main part of it. So let's talk about it. 1st fret, 2nd string, to 0. The middle finger will get the 2nd fret, 3rd string. So you're back to the 2nd string open. The middle again, 3rd, and then off. So if you line that up with what's being sung, who can stop the Lord Almighty? And you have these 2 notes which kind of bridge each time that happens, which is your ring finger on the 3rd. And that resets you to do it again. Who can stop the Lord Almighty? Last one, the very last one, you'll land on your ring finger. That's how you'll end that. And then as that's happening, your higher electric is playing just the normal lick. So that's tying in what you've heard at the intro into the bridge. It's kind of tying the song together, lick-wise. And then likewise there, you'll end with your ring finger. And then right before you go back into the real big chorus, there's that kind of drum electric thing. Both guitars are doing the same lick. And then you'll play your chorus section there. And then for your outro, same idea. You're just doing that same signature lick that you associate with the song, and then as you're done with that, you just kind of slide off. You do it 4 times. You just kind of slide off a little bit, and then you're done with the song. So we covered a lot of ground, but that's what both electric guitars are doing for the song Line in the Land.